I am Luisa, and I'm one of the academic coordinators. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 21 years old, and I study European law in Amsterdam. And I'm here today with my co-coordinator, Leo.
Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm Leon and I'm from South Africa, as I mentioned. I am 20 years old and I've been in X culture since I was about 15, so about 5 years now. And been now this semester co-coordinating with Louisa, which I'm very happy about. So really looking forward to a great semester with you all. And we are both here along with the admin team and your coaches and lead coaches who you'll meet later down the line. We are all here to support you as much as possible. Okay, I think let's head into the agenda. Like, if you can go to the next slide. Okay, so today's meeting, firstly, I just want to say congratulations to you all for passing the theoretical phase. I do want to just point one thing out. Today is your last day. If you are missing any assignments or you failed, this is your last day to retake them or to actually attempt them. So please make sure if you haven't, straight after this meeting, go and do them because you have a few hours left, and also it's the last day for payments. So once again, if you want to move into the practical phase, those two are crucial elements that we need from you. Otherwise, you will not be able to continue within the program, unfortunately. I do just want to say, if you're from a school and a cohort, then you don't need to worry about payments. But if you joined individually, then you need to make a payment. Okay, so that is out the way, then agenda, we're going to briefly go over your fabulous coaches who you will meet soon. We'll go over the timeline, we'll go in depth in the practical phase and the post-reflection phase. We'll cover some prizes that you should keep your eyes on. And then if we have time, I'm hoping we do, we'll do a practical phase simulation and then end with a Q&A. Malika, I'll pass it over to you to introduce our fabulous coaching team.
Hello everyone. So I'm Malika, I'm 20 and I'm from Pakistan. And currently I am in my second year studying tourism and hospitality management. And I will also be your coaching manager for this semester. So here is the general structure of how the coaching team is. So first we have the coaches. They are going to be the ones who will be dealing with you directly. They are former students with outstanding performance and are now committed their free time to mentor and advise current students on how to improve their performance and how to tackle issues. And then we have lead coaches, so they will not be dealing with you directly, but they will be stepping in where support is needed. So lead coaches are former coaches with more experience who now assist more coaches under their care, and they're only contacted in case of dire issues when things get escalated. And then we have the coaching manager. They are former coaches with much more coaching experience. So as you can see, we have a very well structured coaching team, and you can be assured that you will be having a lot of support. And on top of that, we have the admin team, of course. So I will introduce the lead coaches, and then later on you will be your coaches will be introduced to you. So we have Prudence, and then we have Denise. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So we have Denise, who's the lead coach, and Shadrach, and then also Lisa. So they will be your lead coaches, and the rest of our amazing people here will be the coaches. So I'll be handing it over to. It's all on my side.
No. I think Ankit was late. We wasn't gonna wait. Ankit, are you here or not? I think he was having some issues. Okay, so I'll just cover this. So this is basically the timeline. Just to give you a very brief overview, we're going to go in more detail and give you a full rundown. But so you've just now completed the theoretical phase. Today is the last day. So as I just mentioned, make sure that you complete all your assignments and make the payment. And then from Monday, you'll be moving into the practical phase and you'll be placed in global virtual teams. And then that's when you're going to really start having fun and learning a lot of interesting things, because then you'll be meeting people from around the world. You'll be choosing your client challenges. So a lot happens in this phase, but you do have a good chunk of time to go through it. And then you have the post-reflection phase, and this is all okay, I don't want to give too much away because we're going to actually like go into this in detail, but that's you're going to do live presentations, pre-recorded presentations, write reflection papers, etc. So there's a lot that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks, months, and you're going to learn a lot. And yeah, so let's go into more detail before I give it all away. Louisa, I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so starting this Monday, we will start the practical phase, which I'm now gonna explain a little bit more in detail. Malika, could you please go to the next slide? So starting this Monday, you will be assigned to a global virtual team. And in total, we have, and this is together with the university program, we have over 80 countries represented and more than 5,000 applicants a semester. So this Monday, you will receive an email with your team. However, we will also continue to use Canvas, right? You have been handing all your assignments in on Canvas, all the theory tests, and you will also do this with the reports, the overall reports, but also the weekly drafts. So always check Canvas because on there we put all the deadlines. You can go back to the general schedule where you will also see all the deadlines, but under the tabs of assignments, you can also find that. And then you're part of your global virtual teams. And then you will also receive weekly emails that will contain a peer evaluation survey. So they will ask you some questions about your team. For example, the first survey will ask you some information you have learned about your teammates, because that is really the first step you need to do this Monday. That's when you get your email that you contact your team members. Don't be afraid to be the first person to send out the email and to set up some kind of group or communication. If you're unsure of what kind of things to use, you can always go back to our online tools. However, those weekly surveys are really important that you fill them in because you can give peer evaluations, and during the practical phase, those peer evaluations will monitor your performance. And also if you receive peer evaluations of 2 or below 2 weeks in a row, you will actually be removed from a team. The same thing happens if other team members give it to a team member, and you can always see at the end of the week you will receive your peer evaluations. And that can also help you to learn how to improve and see what kind of areas you can become better at. Okay, I think we can move on to the next slide.
I think Malika's Wi-Fi may have cut because I just saw her go into darkness and now she's frozen. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, I was right.
Yeah.
Everyone, you will see that for some reason in X culture, all of us have tech issues or Wi-Fi issues. It's just like a common trend that we all have for some reason. So we do apologize in advance. We do wish we could like not have these issues, but they just follow all of us no matter what we do. Move on this slide.
It's one of the challenges of global virtual teams you will also probably encounter in your teams, right? Because not everybody will have like good internet all the time, and also weather, like as Malika was mentioning, a thunderstorm can also really impact your weather. I see the slides are back up.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
So I just wanted to add one thing on this as well, is just take note of one thing. Sometimes we get a lot of emails from students when the first email gets sent out with your team, right? So if you're the first one to contact everyone, don't worry if there's like a late response from someone. Sometimes there's like, remember, there's time zones or somebody's writing an exam. So like give it a day or two, follow some, like send some follow-up emails and stuff. And I would suggest don't be like, hey, can I like please send your number? Just like create a WhatsApp link immediately and send it because it saves a lot of like back and forth if you choose to use WhatsApp or maybe you choose to use Telegram, whatever it may be. But just try and think logically what is going to be the most effective way to get in touch with everyone because it can be a mission in the first few days to actually get everybody to join and get in contact with each other. But like, don't stress is what I'm trying to say. Obviously there gets a point where you're like, okay, this person isn't replying to me. There's an issue, but don't rush it is what I'm trying to say. And then also, your coaches will be assigned to you a few days after you've gotten to know your team. So you'll all have a coach assigned to your team and they're as well as a lead coach and then Malika supporting obviously and they'll be with you from then on throughout the semester, so also just keep that in mind and do reply to their emails because they really want to get to know you and they want to help you, so make sure that you actually also put in the effort to get their support and guidance and get to know them as well. Okay, so then
maybe
Louisa,
one
sorry.
thing about the emails.
Yes.
It's really important this week to check your spam because a lot of times, while the team assignments, because they're also sent out with university, if we send a lot of emails at the same time, it often gets flagged for spam, but a lot of spam filters also flag emails that are being sent from other countries than your own. So also if your team members are trying to reach out, please check your spam like at least every day this week because your coach or your team members might be ending up in spam and then you might miss emails. So if you are so please do keep an eye on that as it's a very frequent occurrence, especially in the first week.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so now going on to the actual report, and this is going to be your main assignment of the entire semester, basically. But you will have, how many weeks are you going to have? You're going to have like 5 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, to work on your report. So each week you're going to have a section. And this is the report structure. So you're going to have your executive summary, and then you're going to have section 1, section 2, section 3. And then I'll move into draft report and then your final report. And just to note, every challenge that you will see up on Canvas in the next day or so, they have different requirements for each section. So you will, when you go through them, you'll notice that each one has a slightly different structure or what they are asking. So just make sure that you apply whatever they are actually asking of you into your report and in the correct section. But all details will be sent to you weekly. So it may seem overwhelming the first bit, but it's actually, you'll be fine. There's a breakdown in it and it's doable. And then just one thing is make sure that you actually divide the report sections amongst everyone in the team and like set up a structure beforehand, because it does not help if 2 people are working on section 2, for example, on marketing, but doing completely different things and there's no communication. You're wasting each other's time and it's not going to work very well. So set up a plan beforehand, get on like a Zoom call, actually discuss it, break it all down, and already have that plan set out for the whole report. And then when you are done and you've said it, I would write it down because sometimes, you know, if you just speak it, it can get lost in communication. Wait, is that actually the same? I don't know. But also be flexible because things can change down the line and somebody may suddenly have exams that come up or they have to have a personal emergency or something along those lines. So be flexible, but make sure that you actually do stick with that plan and communicate. And then lastly, on regards to the report, is make sure that it flows. So you're all going to be writing different sections, doing your own research, but you wanted to make it seem like one person has written the report basically and done all the research. So you want to merge into one person, which sounds weird, but it's my best advice I can give you. Louisa or anybody, well, admin team, do you have anything you want to add on reports or company challenges?
Just be aware that also that's the first thing you're also gonna do is pick the client company. So really read through all the challenges because there are differences between them, and you can also with your team then pick whatever works best for your team, and then you can really start also with a plan. But also first take the time to get to know your team, because that really helps you in the end with your report as well.
And just on the note of Canvas and actually you didn't mention Canvas, but the client companies on Canvas, it's not published currently, but within the next, say, 2 to 3 days, you'll see a new section on Canvas with client challenges, and you will find all the PDFs of each company we have this semester, as well as a brief summary, and then also slides that we've created that summarizes each company. However, read through the entire report. So maybe go to the slides first, get a brief overview, but then actually make sure you read through the PDFs, because they have way more information that you'll need when making your decision, and make sure that you actually make the decision as a team. Don't let it become a conflict. Okay, so then okay, now I can't see my own screen. That doesn't help me.
I
Okay,
can
so
see your screen, so it should work. Okay.
okay, there we go. I can see it. So just some tips to keep in mind is, now that you've done the theoretical phase, actually apply that knowledge that you've learned into the practical phase. And when you're working with your team and creating a report, we give you that training for a reason, not just to waste your time. So make sure that you actually apply it and remember it, and actually not just remember it, but actually fully understand it. So if there's something you're not sure of, go back and read it, or go and do your own research on it, but make sure that you understand it. You're going to hear us say this very, very often, but communication is the most important factor when working in a global virtual team, because it is going to literally be the core, or actually your only source of connection pretty much with each other, right? You're sitting all around the world, and the only thing you have is communication. So if that is lacking, everything is going to be a disaster. I speak from personal experience in this. Make sure that you communicate, and also having meetings, like, really, really important. I know it can be hard with time zones, but just try and make an effort, because it'll save you a lot of issues and struggles down the line. Always ask questions and always ask for help. So may it be to your team members or actually to your coach. You can just be like, hey, actually, I don't understand what this section of the challenge is. I have no idea. I've never heard of this. Don't be afraid to say that. Ask for help rather than trying to struggle and figure it out by yourself. And it also strengthens the team bond, right? Like, you're helping each other. How I always like to think is, you're working with friends. Make it that you're working with friends. Get to know each other to the point that you actually, it's kind of like a friend project almost, rather than working with strangers who you've never seen before. It makes a big difference. Trust me, it really does. And then also your coaches, or your coach, no, coaches, are obviously there to help you. So, use their guidance to your benefit, use their support. They have been trained for this. They've also gone through theoretical training. They've been students themselves. They know the deal, so they're there to help you. So don't block them out. Sometimes teams just don't contact their coaches or don't really get in touch with them, and then that makes it hard for everyone. So really, they are there to support you and help you. Then, as I mentioned already, is the team and work distribution is a must, because you don't want one person suddenly doing an entire section and another person just working on formatting. That's not really fair. So you want to make sure that it's even, that it fits everybody, that nobody's getting overwhelmed, help each other out, but make sure you have that plan from literally day 3. Day 1 and 2, you want to be getting to know each other. Day 3, really, then work starts. And then again, your report should be well balanced. So you don't want to have section 1 completely developed, great formatting, everything like that. And then you go to section 3 and there's bullet points and hardly any support, right? That's not a well-rounded report. That's not flowing. It's not balanced. So make sure each report section has an even amount of attention, that it gets an even amount of research work done. And again, make it that it's literally one person writing it. I mean this metaphorically. I don't want one person just writing the report, but literally make it seem like only one person's writing the report, right? Become a really well-rounded team, because it'll reflect so in your report. And then think before you act. And this is very much when you working with your team members, right? You're all from different cultures. You don't know each other in the first few days, etc. So don't jump on impulses when somebody says something that annoys you, or you don't understand why they're saying that. Just take a moment and take a deep breath and just take a step back and communicate about it. And also, even when it's in regards to creating your report and stuff, everything must have a purpose, and really think it through first rather than just going ahead and doing something. This links to what I just said, but everything should have a purpose. So this is specifically for the report, actually, if it doesn't add value to your report, don't have it in there, because that takes up valuable space for other parts of your report that may actually be more needed and needs more support. So really just make sure that everything you put in that report actually adds value and has a purpose in there. And then remember, it's a team effort. So, become friends, get to know each other, actually put an effort into that sense as well, because it makes a massive, massive difference when you're working with people you actually know and get on with and have, like, how do I say this? It's a very different thing when you don't even know what a person looks like and you're trying to work with them. That doesn't help. So, again, have that meeting, get to know each other, ask them what their favorite food is, anything like that. It helps. And then again, linked to this, while it is very much about working hard, putting in the effort, you're here to learn and you're here to gain skills. Linked as to what I was just saying is actually have fun. This is a community. Everybody, I can say for myself, I can say for Louisa, I can say for Beatrix, we all like Xlodge is a family now. It's not a thing about working, Louisa and I co-coordinating. It's like half a friend's conversation and half work, and we're trying to balance the two. It's very fun. You'll get the hang of it. But it makes it so much more interesting and enjoyable. And also just remember that it's a journey. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You are going to make mistakes. It's probably a given, but you're going to learn from them. And just make sure that you learn from those mistakes, because this is the whole point of it, is, you want to be growing, and you want to be working together as a team and making the best, investing in your future, basically. So put the effort in. I promise you it is worth it. Beatrix, or admin team, or Louisa, anything you want to add? I don't even know who else of our admin teams here.
I would also say we have structured it in a way with the drafts and weekly reports that it's doable. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's doable if you follow the schedule. But also keep in mind that really follow the schedule and the draft reports, because otherwise in the last week before the report is due, you're gonna have to cram everything. So please start like early, and also if there are like any issues with the team, if you address them early and talk to them early, it's gonna be a lot easier to solve and ask questions to your coach in like week 1 or 2. Because also the later you go to the coach, the less time there is also to solve certain issues.
Yeah,
So stay on top of it.
Go Bea.
Okay. Also, I think that like some of the people usually like kind of tend to be a bit afraid of their like use of English, or like lack of experience in one section, as you mentioned, like maybe marketing or market analysis. Do not be afraid. You have the time. You have like some basic preparation already from the theory phase. And if you're unsure about something, you're in a team, and even within a section, you can choose something that's really that you're really good at, or that really interests you, and you can improve along the time. And just as Luisa said, I think that like we really have to stress on this. Just try to be on time with everything, and then even if there's an issue, or I don't know, like a little part of the section that you forgot along the way, or that you might, after like rereading the report, you think that doesn't really fit there, or it's lacking to some extent, it can be repaired in the final week before you submit. And also, if you have issues with English, or you consider that you have issues, because most for you, it's not as bad, it's mostly just shyness, you can also spend some time as a team on editing in the later times, if you finish every section on time. So I think that would be an advice from my part, from my personal experience.
Thank you both for that. Actually, just going off of that, I feel like this may be something that a lot of people can relate to. And again, I'm going to speak for myself, Louisa and Bea. We all, when we joined, were extremely, extremely shy. Now I'm going to speak for myself. Like, I would not turn on my camera. I wouldn't want to speak. I was terrified. And honestly, I know it's scary, but I promise you it's not as bad as you think. Okay, now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, really? But I get it. You're literally in, you're trying to speak with people you've never met, you've never seen before. It is a scary thing, especially if you are introverted or you are shy in general. It's a big step, but push yourself. It is a safe space to like get out of your comfort zone. And also if you're the person that's like has a shy person in your team, please be kind to them because they are trying their best. They like I know you may be used to just going ahead and you starting the conversation, you can't understand why this person isn't like interacting or is a bit like withdrawn. It's I don't know how to explain it. I think it's an introvert thing or it's a shy thing. I don't know, but just be kind is what I'm trying to say. Work as a team to like really move past that, and it's okay to be shy. It is okay. Just push yourself. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Um
And
yeah, you want to say something?
yes, and practice makes perfect. I was worse than you. I literally did not join the webinars because I was afraid that someone will see my name on the screen. For a month, I just watched the recordings, risking that, like, I don't know, I will don't have the attendance because I was afraid of someone seeing my name in the webinars. This was before COVID, so Zoom wasn't a thing back then. And then I just rewatched, like, I found some webinars from a few years ago, and I was literally so afraid, or I don't know what, that I was literally like talking. I was putting the information through, but I was literally talking in syllables. So yes, practice makes perfect. And yes, I'm pretty sure that you don't believe either of us, but we are a group of introverts. It's very hard to believe, but with practice, everything gets better.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
and your
Sorry.
coaches, right, and your lead coaches, but also us as admin, we have all been through the program ourselves, right? So we know how scary it can be, and that it's a lot in the beginning to all understand. So also trust that they understand, and if you have any worries, they are also able to relate and help you with that.
Very true. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bea, I'm going to pass it over to you to go into the post-reflection phase.
Yes, let's talk about the fun part. Okay, so everyone again, my name is Bea, or Beatrix, full version. I'm Hungarian Romanian. I just graduated uni. I'm pretty old, 23. So yeah, I've been around for quite a while, and I'm part of the admin team, which means that you will not see me that often as our lovely Leon, Luis, or your coaches. I will be more like behind your coaches, so still cheering for you from behind the scenes. And now let's talk a little bit about the post-practical phase, which is when the stress of the report and everything is kind of already on the finish line. And then you can focus a little bit on your personal reflection, which will be presented in the reflection paper. Here we'll provide you with a template for the structure and a little bit of questions so that you can organize it a little bit better. It's basically a document where you should tell us about your experience, or about the problems that you experienced with your team, with the report, about your contributions, your overview about the program as well. So it's a few pages after we wrote the report, but one advice would be that you should already start taking notes and maybe keep like a timeline along the semester so that you don't have to work right in the final weeks that much. And overall, it's like, I think it's really nice to actually like, I really didn't directly say to complain, but overall to reflect and to highlight a few points of improvement, also for like for your own personal way to work in a team and also for the program. And then we will have the video presentations. The video presentations are actually short summary of your report that you have to present as a team. These are recorded, so you will have a week or two. You will get the deadlines via email and also reminded by your coaches. You can record this so you have more attempts. So if you have an issue, just as myself had in the past, that you're a little bit shy in front of the camera, or if you have any technical issues, that this can be solved. So you can have as many tries as you want and just then submit by the deadline. Here you should have like kind of a conclusion and like the results that you get for each section, and more like focus on your solutions rather than the details. So basically these are graded separately from the reports, so really here you can have like a final rush into it. And then the best videos that were submitted, the teams will be chosen to present live in a session just like this on a Saturday from 9 a.m. And from these best teams, we will try to vote for like the final best team. And yes, in the live presentation, obviously your whole team should be present at the event and should actively participate, and this cannot really be recorded, so you have to be there and do it on the spot. But based on a video presentation that you already submitted, so it's the same canvas, the same PowerPoint that you already addressed previously, it's just that you have to repeat it live. So it sounds scary, but it's actually, I would say that it's like really fancy, and like it's like more like a celebration like towards the graduation. So actually I think that like it's really nice to be chosen, because it's really just the best of the best that are invited to do the live presentations. And then you can also apply to the coaching program if you really liked it. As a student, if you would like to further share and put your experience into practice and help other students, I think that was really, I just felt so grateful for everything that I got within the program, that I really wanted to go forward. And it was also like a really nice community that I didn't really want to leave. I've been around here since 2019, so you can guess that it's kind of, it's a fun place to be over the weekends, and also to just have it as an extracurricular. I do know that some of you are from schools. I actually back in the days joined on myself as a student, and I never ever have regretted it. So now I will pass it back to Leon to tell you more about what the best of the best can get, and what are the prizes after you complete this program.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so we do this every semester, and it's basically we choose the best student. Okay, obviously all of you are amazing, but the person who puts in the most effort and who's willing to go a little bit further, we give one free coaching seat. So if you're interested in joining the coaching program and you don't want to pay the application fee, this is a great motivation to keep in mind. So as long as you successfully complete the program, as well as get high peer evaluations throughout the semester, your report grade is high, you attend all our live sessions, or at least as many as you can, you participate on Canvas and also like our Instagram, like, be active there. And then that will give you an opportunity to get a free seat to move into the coaching program for free. There is a fee for those who do want to move into the coaching program after being a student, but it's a one-time fee. And then if you want to continue for the rest of your life, it's free from there on, and you basically give your time. But yeah, it's a great opportunity. I really do encourage you to make the most of it. And even if you're not aiming to go into the coaching program, sorry. I highly recommend that you do put in all your effort and really do make the most of it, because I promise you will learn a lot from it. If I compare myself from when I started to now, I'm a completely different person, and I can actually say without a doubt in my heart, X culture had an insane influence on that. So I'm not just speaking random nonsense to try and get you to actually participate and be active. It's genuine. I've seen it happen before my eyes. I've seen it happen to myself. It really is an amazing experience. Okay, so That is for the best student, and again, you're all amazing. Don't forget that. I'm gonna hand it back to Louisa for the simulation. Wait, how much time do we have? Okay, yes, we have a bit of time, so let's go. And I'm gonna go get my charger, so I'm gonna disappear for a second.
So I know we have been talking a lot and explaining a lot of things about the program. However, for now we're going for a little bit of an interactive activity just to practice some of the skills we're also going to do in the teams, and also putting some of the material learned in the theory phase, like practicing that. And we will be doing this with everybody today. So, who of you knows what a SWOT analysis is? Let's start with that. Don't worry if you don't, I'm also gonna explain it. Just wanna see a general overview. Could somebody maybe tell me what SWOT analysis stands for? You can either raise your hand or put it in the chat. Yes, Lara, go ahead.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, it stands for strengths, weaknesses, sorry, threat, the T is for not threats.
Threats, yes.
The O is for opportunities, and the T is for, yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Lara, for that. Okay, so when we're talking about a SWOT analysis, we're talking about the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So when we're talking about strengths, we're talking about things that are internal to the company, what they're doing really good. So they're strong points. When we're talking about weaknesses, we're telling about some of the things the company might not be doing as good, which again is internal. Then when we're talking about opportunities and threat, we're looking at external circumstances. So what kind of, for opportunities, what kinds of things are happening in the world that would be positive for the company? Well, for threats, we're thinking about what kind of things might be a danger for the company in the future. So just to give an example, for example, I would have an ice cream truck. If we're talking about a strength, it might be that I have a really special recipe for ice cream that's really tasty. And if we're talking about weaknesses, it might be that it takes me a long time to create the ice cream and there are long waiting times. When we're talking about opportunities, we can maybe talk about how the weather is really good a certain year. And because of that, I sell more ice creams. When we talk about threats, we might talk about really high electricity prices that are very costly for the business. So these are basically the differences. We're gonna try that out ourselves. So we'll ask you to find 1 point for each section of the SWOT analysis based on the information provided. And what we're going to do is we're actually gonna base it on Agriculture Academy itself, as you're also familiar with that, so it's easier. And based on what you learned in the training materials and the information I'm gonna provide, we ask you to analyze and do the SWOT analysis on the Academy recruitment strategy. So, yeah. So I'm gonna give you some time, I think, to read it, where we talk through what our so as soon as you're ready, you probably need some more time, but you can also raise your hand or put it in the chat if you have any ideas we can discuss. Okay. So you can, as you can also read, basically the 7 ways we're also using is currently is word of mouth, local recruitment agencies are some of the ideas, advertisement in local media, targeted promotion, conferences online, and also online communities. Okay, can somebody maybe list the strengths about Academy's recruitment process? And please remember, we're here to learn. So there are basically no wrong answers. It's just about trying to think and brainstorm together, and we can also use each other's answers to come up with more things as well. So don't be afraid to start.
I don't know how to do the button. Can I?
Yes, of course. No, yeah, you can
I
also
would say
just unmute. Yes.
no. I couldn't find the hand raise thing, but I would say you guys use a different, like quite a bit of a variety of different strategies to target your audiences and gain interest.
Hey, very good. So diversity and variety in modes of advertisements. We can put that firstly. Any further ideas?
Can I say?
Yes, of course, go ahead.
I would say that years of experience and gaining knowledge on how to uh, advertise the recruitment stuff is also a strength, because it helps you know how to do it and furthermore use every material you need.
Okay, so experience in advertisements because of the length of the program's assistance. That's a good one. Any more ideas? Don't be shy.
Does anybody have a suggestion of a weakness? I'm very curious of what anybody finds as a weakness. And don't worry, we won't take it personally, I promise. We want to know what you think our weaknesses are so we can improve on them. No one, or is our program or our recruitment strategy just that amazing? And we don't.
What are all there are yeah. Yes, go ahead.
I would suggest maybe working. I'm not so familiar with it because I was not informed by my school. I came individually, but maybe working more with schools or targeting specifically towards schools.
That is a very, very good one, actually. Do we have any others?
I would say maybe advertise more on Instagram, because usually now teenagers use it a lot. And I was like Julia said, there is a woman that helped me know about this, because I wouldn't have heard of it at all. So maybe I think it would be the advertisement on Instagram would be a good idea. Or on TikTok.
Thank you for that. That's also very valid. It's a constant battle we have currently with Instagram with new laws. I'm going to leave it at that. But we know that one. We've been trying to work around that one a lot. But thank you. That is a very, very good point. I think let's maybe go on to opportunities. Does anybody have opportunities? And everybody else in the audience also, if you don't have to unmute if you don't want to, you can just put in the chat. But what are some opportunities that you see? Nobody? Is everybody shy? Do we have a cohort full of shy people? Is this the deal?
I can understand it's a bit hard in the beginning to come up with these things, right? But try to as good as possible, and it doesn't have to be the perfect answer. Just try what you come up with.
But yeah, I want to hear what do you think? What is our opportunity for recruitment? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, because why not? Yeah. Okay, so I think that it's actually like a little bit harder for us to answer this because like we kind of I would say that in this years we already exhausted our own ideas to some extent, but maybe it would be an opportunity to research and really focus on new countries that we didn't reach out to yet. Yes.
That's valid. Okay, you're getting looped into the marketing team now. You can do your research. Sorry, I have new work for you. Okay, anybody else?
You can share your ideas. It's just, like brainstorming kind of thing. Oh yeah, there is something in the chat.
Let's see. Past participants. Okay, so we had ex-culture may reach out to past participants and find stories of success regarding top jobs or university acceptances to show the impact made. That is very, very good, actually. That is a very good suggestion. I like that. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we have now 2 for opportunities. Let's move on to threats. Can we have 2 suggestions of threats that we may face during our recruitment?
Can a threat be that another, I don't know how to say, company wants to have the same project as you, but named differently, and starts recruiting people that may want to go with you, but they take them away from you, basically.
That's very true. So basically somebody stealing our idea and doing it better, pretty much, in recruitment.
Yes.
No, that is very, very, that is definitely a threat and one that I think we're constantly trying to get away from, but definitely very valid. Thank you. Anyone else? One more?
I would say maybe less of a threat and more of a challenge. Working, but so you're already acquainted with it, with time differences and maybe like restrictions, since we're like some people are minors, so there's like online restrictions with certain things, and those are like certain challenges.
Yeah, definitely. That is one that we face quite often, so I definitely agree with that one. Okay, perfect. Do we have any maybe strength, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats that anybody would like to bring up? Okay, cool. Then should we go into Q&A? Let me stop sharing my
Let's do
screen.
that.
Okay. So now it's over to everyone else, well, students rather. Do you have any questions in regards to anything and everything? This is the chance you get to ask.
Yes, and if you have like any personal questions about something not working with the payments or something like that, you can always also email us at academy@xculture.org. And you can always also find the contact information on Canvas if you can't remember the email address.
Louisa, sorry, before anybody starts asking questions, I'm going to jump off to go and start our other meeting. Sorry, everyone, we have a meeting with your wonderful coaches. So I'm going to jump off, but best of luck, everyone. And Bia, will you stay behind with Louisa just to help with questions? Okay, Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye. See you soon. Okay, so are there any questions we can help with? So put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself or raise your hands.
Okay, so now I'm giving you ideas. So do you have any questions about the practical phase, about something that you still don't understand how it's gonna work, something about how your team will not work, come on, like how
Team
it's gonna
dynamics?
function, the team dynamics or anything. Usually these are the questions that people have at this point. So anything that you're still interested in, or any, I don't know, questions, like, I don't know, something very specific that you might be interested in.
Can either mean two things. Either we were really thorough, or we were very confusing, so nobody knows where to start with the questions. I see that you arrived 15 minutes late. Okay, so for that one, I will actually edit a recording and put it up on our YouTube channel, X Culture Education, so you can watch back the whole presentation and everything we discussed today. So no problem if you joined later. Hey, any other questions?
I have a question, but it's not related to the themes. It's when you send us the email of the different people in our group, do we get like their email or?
Yes, you will basically get like a little table with their name, like their country, and of course their email address, because email is gonna be your first method of contact, after which you can choose whatever you would like, but you will get their email addresses in that email.
Thank you.
Okay, for submitting the assignments through Canvas, it's gonna be one person per group that's gonna be submitting. And when you do that in Canvas, you can actually see that somebody from your group has submitted. When will we be giving our team groups? So we will be placing everybody on teams on Monday. So expect it on Monday. Or depending on your time zone, it might actually be Tuesday for you. So as it's gonna be from the time zone EST. So that might be a little bit later for you, but so expect it like that you have it Tuesday morning if you're in one of the time zones that is before EST. Okay, Adia, can I help you with something?
Hello, yes. I passed all 4 tests, but my fourth exam test was like 11 out of 14. But I passed it for the second time, and it was 11 out of 14. So if I'm passing or not?
I can't answer that on the spot now. I just saw your email also come in during the meeting. I'm gonna look at it and look at the records and then talk about the personal situation, as I need to actually look at the scores and things. So that is not something I can answer right now, but I
Okay,
will
thank
get
you.
back to you.
And
That.
where is the recordings for the meetings?
We'll put that on our YouTube channel, X Culture Education.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So if we know that we are accepted, will we get an email that will say you're accepted and you will go in a team, or should we take our grades from each test and know that from them we are accepted?
So you can see it from the grades, and actually, if you have not passed the exams or are missing exams, we have been sending out reminders via Canvas, so that if you were missing any of those assignments, we have actually sent out reminders so you can see that. And as if you make the payments and passed all the 4 tests, you will be getting an email on Monday with your team assignment. So that will be the email that you passed on to the practical phase.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Let me just check. Also, if I answered anything in the chat.
Yes, you have one more. When will we be given our teams? I think we answered this, but you could repeat.
Yes. So when will you be giving your teams? That will be this Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone. Hey, any other unclarities I can help with?
How do we contact our coaches? Like we will be having their emails, or can we add them to our WhatsApp group or whatever method we are going to talk on?
Okay, so that's a good question. So at first, your coach will reach out to you via email. They will be assigned a little bit later during the week, and they will initiate the first point of contact. That will be via email. But actually, once you do that, they've done that, and they will likely also ask for this in the email. You can also add them to your group of communication because this will really help them get more information and also be able to help you better. So you can indeed add them to your group of communication. Just the first point of contact, the first initial point of contact is going to be through email, and then you can with your coach further discuss it. But we do recommend you to actually include them in your team communication, so on WhatsApp or whatever you use, because that really makes the communication and cooperation that much easier. Thank you for your question. What do we need to do after the payment? Okay, so once you have completed the payment, please also send a copy of the payment receipt to xculture@academy.org. This way we can also check through that we have received all the payments and also match them to our administration. Okay, anything else I can help with? Yeah. Bea, can you maybe type the email address in the chat? I'm also seeing that question. Besides that, any further burning questions? No? No further questions? Yeah, so for the emails, when you send the payment receipts, indeed you will probably not get a reply to every one of those emails, as these days we will be receiving a lot of emails with those payment receipts. We will upload them also to our administration. If your email also contains a question, we will send you a reply. Okay, I also repeated the Academy email address, but you can also find it on Canvas, right? So, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining. If any other questions come up, then please email us. I wish you a wonderful week ahead and good luck with the practical phase. Remember, we are here if you have any experiences, if you need any help. And I hope you all have a great practical phase and good luck and have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining today.